can we just go do what we're legally allowed to do or speak to somebody else?
So I am pretty busy.
You guys came at lunchtime, I have pizza downtown just waiting on me,
Yeah,
but
it's probably like it's a little bit tricky time because we're like down some staff, honestly. No, I'm usually remote.
for today,
Yeah.
not for me, it's not, but
It's probably not the best time for me either today. You know, it's lunch hour, and also we're down some staff. I'm trying to pick up some slack as far as some other duties and everything.
Okay. Is there anybody that might be available in the next 20 minutes in the building?
I have no idea.
Like I
doubt
said,
it.
we're kind of shorthanded.
From a security standpoint, within today's world, that's important to have, the safety and.
I hear that a lot. I'd say we're probably the safest we've ever been. If we were to go ahead and make an appointment and we came here and we did a tour thing, you still wouldn't know anything more about that person just because they made an appointment. You know, it doesn't really necessarily make it safer. You know what I'm saying?
True.
Those who would trade away freedom for safety and security deserve neither. Welcome back, Liberty Trollers. We're outside of the Florida Department of Transportation, District 5. We are over in DeLand, Florida, out here with, this is a public service. What's going on, man? We're gonna just go into the public accessible areas as usual, making sure that our rights are respected and honored. So without further ado, while we maintain the element of surprise, let's head on in. Now, while we're walking into this public building, let me go ahead and direct you to go ahead and follow us on Facebook. Just look up Liberty Troll. I have the link in the description there. And also check out our website. I'm sure if you've been subscribed, you've probably checked it out already, but we have some merch on there, a couple t-shirts to choose from. It's a way to support the channel, get something back in return. Of course, there's other ways you can donate. So check out the description for more details on that. Thank you so much in advance.
Thank you.
You got it? Oh, there we go. Yes, ma'am. Oh, there's a lot smaller compared to the rest of the building than I expected to see when I walked in.
I don't actually remember it being set up like this when I was here.
Do you have your cameras reminding us that the government's always watching us? What's back here?
Guys, can I help you with it? Yeah, how would I go about making a public records request? Do you guys have a clerk for the office or anything like that?
Public records?
Yeah.
Yeah. We can do a couple of different things. You can put a public records request in. I can call somebody, have somebody come down. It just depends on what you would like to do.
Yeah, I mean, that works for me. I'm not sure what other options there are.
Here is the Department of Transportation's floor plan. They got a total of 4 floors. They do have public information on the 4th floor.
It looked like, yeah, 4 had something available to
Oh,
us.
so they're here.
It looks like it, yeah.
They have visitor badges, I would assume.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at the sign now. All visitors to the building and the credit union must sign in with the receptionist.
Bunch of badges over here, man.
Yeah, you're right.
What areas of the building are, I'm sorry, what was that?
I said somebody will be right down.
Okay, what areas of the building are open to the general public?
Open to the general public?
Yeah.
Just the front lobby for the most part.
So what's on 4?
Fourth floor. So yeah, you have public information up there. I would assume that's like a public office that has services for the public.
Would it be possible for us to go up there and just,
They're gonna come down.
is that an area that the public's generally allowed?
Just one moment. This is great. I can help you. Okay. It'll just be a minute or two.
Yeah, so, you got a call when we were talking there. What, is that area usually open to the general public? Can the general, if the general public came in here and said that they wanted to go up on 4, would they be permitted to do so? And it says public information
It's one of our offices. It's up on the 4th floor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is it possible I could just sign in and we could go up there? It sounds like it's open to the public.
It's, yeah, generally speaking, it's not, you're still in a safe building,
Yeah, sure. A public building, right?
right?
Yeah.
Right. You know,
So I'm just trying to go to the areas that are open to the general public. I don't want to be discriminated against because I'm holding a camera in my hands.
Not at all.
Well, that's where I'm coming from.
I understand what you're saying.
Alright. So would that be possible? I could sign in like this says and just,
Yes, you can,
alright. What's the next step here?
but I'm waiting for somebody to come down to talk to you.
Oh,
Okay. Who's coming down? I'm sorry. Did you already say who's coming down, or who's coming down to talk to us?
One of the representatives from our neighborhood, Kim Pitt, is gonna be in.
Named who?
Kim Pitt.
Kim?
Uh-huh.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
and I'm sorry, sir. What was your name?
Gary Fry.
Thank you, Gary.
Thanks, Gary.
Gary, sorry for ambushing you when it doesn't even look like this is your regular post, so I apologize for that.
You're okay.
We should have been hammering. What was your name, sir? What's your name?
What was my name?
What's your
My
name?
name's Chuck Yeager.
Yeah, we should have been getting on Chuck and not on you, Gary. Sorry
No,
about
no,
that.
you are fine, sir, it's not a big deal.
No, have a good day.
Thanks, Gary. Enjoy your lunch.
Hey there.
Hi, are you for public records?
Yeah, I did have a records request. Gary just left, but we were wondering about, it just seemed like we were being restricted to this area where the general public might have been allowed up to 4 number floor. Is that not correct? Are there areas of this building that are open to the general public?
Besides the lobby.
So what's the public information that's on the 4th floor?
Our public information office answers questions, like say that you have a question about one of our projects, that sort of thing.
Mhm.
Then you would speak with them, and then they would get you in touch with the right person.
Okay. So is that something that you would need to make an appointment for, or is that
Oh.
something that the general public, if they wanted to come up and, is it any questions or just about specific construction projects that are occurring by, on FDOT? I'm not even sure if it's FDOT property or not, the probably state of Florida property, right?
Well, if we're involved in projects and whatnot, we've had people call many times, and they're asking questions, so then we would transfer them, like on the phone.
Yeah.
And then we transfer them over to PIO, and then
And are you the PIO?
I am not, no, no. But then they don't generally just go upstairs though to speak with them.
Okay.
Majority are phone calls. But if someone comes to the office, just like they called to have me come down,
Yeah.
then we would call to ask if they could come down and speak with you, and it's the same.
So nobody's ever going up, everybody's always coming
No,
down.
sir, correct.
So what's the point of those putting on a badge? I would assume you would have a badge in order to go beyond this
Correct.
point this way.
Yes.
So how do we, so we're independent journalists. We're not here for like specifically, like services that you guys offer back to the public, but we run into this a lot as media. So like basically how it works is wherever it is open to the public, media can also go into those areas and carry out their legitimate business, as long as it's legitimate. So taking pictures and video. We're doing a little story on the Department of Transportation here in DeLand. So that's what we do. We go into public buildings, because in private buildings, there's a lot more barriers. In public buildings, it's just a matter of wherever the public can be, we can also be and do our thing. So we're not here to interview anybody or talk to anybody specifically. We just want to get our pictures and video and then leave. So how do we go about doing that here?
I can put you in touch with a representative from the Public Information Office. They would be better versed at handling that. For public records, we provide actual records, like say you wanted right-of-way maps, something like that. Then we would provide those things.
Okay.
But other than that, then our Public Information Office would be able to help you.
Okay. Could we go ahead and get a badge here now, and then we can maybe follow you beyond this point here and go into
I'd have to get in
those?
touch with one of them first, and then they would come down, and then
Who would that person be in communications?
Chuck, is it possible you could get in touch with Melanie Hand or Cindy, please?
Tim, the bottom line is we want to see what our tax dollars are going towards. This is a big public building, and you know, we spend a lot of money with the DOT, so I guess the public just wants to kind of see what's going on in the building that we fund.
And we are more than happy to help
I
you.
appreciate that.
Thank you.
Not a problem.
As far as the record, I did want to make a public records request. If I'm requesting records that are not like the ones you just, I was looking for more of HR records. Would I still make that request with you?
Yes.
All right.
It's ridiculous. I could take glasses off to see.
Well, that's better than having to take glasses off to put different glasses on. That's,
I don't have that problem. I don't wear glasses, so
Oh, you're lucky.
I'm just gonna rub it in and go. Sorry.
well, you know, you're younger than me even.
How do you know that?
I know a little more about you than you.
Make sure I have everything right. You would like to have a list of all D5 FDOT employees to include their title and which department they are in. And then you would like to have a loss run report for all insurance policies FDOT. And they come in 5-year increments, and you would like the previous 5 years. And if we do have records for you, they will go to LETTERSOFPR
You have it.
PH, this is more for now, OCIOM@gmail.com.
N as in Nancy at the end. Foshin. ION.
ION, just make sure. Okay. And I hate to rip off a piece of paper, but if that's okay, I can give you my contact. Okay. And do you have someone from PIO coming?
Cindy and Matthew were both out today, so there is no one available.
Tim Freed. He might be at lunch.
Quite possibly.
And Melanie Hand is in here.
Whoever I spoke to said that they were at lunch and
Okay.
Cindy and Matthew were not in today at all. The principal.
Okay.
So is it just limited to communications when somebody is able to exercise their right to observe their government in publicly accessible areas? Or is there someone else? I mean, my point is, like, the staff and the public employees, I would imagine, would receive some kind of training, you know, for these sorts of situations where media comes in and they want to take, you know, pictures and video inside the offices that provide services back to the public. So is it reliant on communications being here? Or, you know, can we just go do what we're legally allowed to do or speak to somebody else? Because what I'm saying is it shouldn't be contingent upon someone who works in communications to be here or not, you know?
I'm just trying to think of whom I could get you in touch with, our public information office.
Yeah, we're not here to capture any private information that, and I'm sure FDOT has some level of private information. We're not here for that, obviously. We just want to see our government and work is really what's going on here.
Well, what I could do is I could provide you with the contact information, since they're physically not here. That's the best that I could do for you. I apologize.
That's the best you can do.
It's just a little unfortunate, you know, because, you know, we're talking about freedom of press, you know, basically the free press or citizen press. So it just seems like in order to exercise that right, it's contingent upon permission or talking to somebody, which it shouldn't be that way. That's the unfortunate part of this, as you can see.
I could give my boss a call and see if you could maybe speak with him. I'm not sure that's.
Or even if you were willing to, you know, just to walk the halls with us. I'm not sure how busy your day is.
Yeah, because as you know, like.
I'm sure that hanging out with us is much more fun than whatever you had going on.
And we won't take up we won't take up too much of your time either, just so you're aware.
That's okay.
And we're not asking you to do anything that is going to get you into trouble with the law, you know, or anything.
No,
It's
I
just
understand. If you can give me just a second,
yeah.
and I can get in touch with my boss, no
appreciate
problem.
Yeah, thank you.
No problem.
So they located Tim Freed, he's on his way down.
Oh, perfect.
Awesome.
That's our public information
Oh,
office.
who's that coming down?
His name is Tim Freed.
Tim Freed.
Yes.
I like his last name.
He's a good guy, absolutely. I'll wait with you.
Appreciate you. Hey, how's it going?
One moment.
Past accountability.
Think you might have
So,
How's it going, guys?
How you doing? I'm Zach.
Yeah,
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
I like your last name, by the way.
Thanks, man.
Great day.
So we were looking on here. So what we do is we go into government buildings, state buildings. We want to do a little story here and just
Okay.
go into the areas that have services for the public. We're not wanting to go to any private offices or anything like that, but we just want to be allowed to go in there or exercise our right to go in there and just keep an eye on, observe our government. Basically, is what we do, and that's our story.
Okay.
So if we could. Get our passes or whatever we need to do to get in. She said you would be the person to talk to about that.
Okay, yeah, I can. I haven't had something like that happen before, as far as going all the way back to here. I can check in
Yeah.
and find out though.
Okay.
So yeah, just sorry,
Yeah.
I'm a little bit new as far as that piece of it, so I
Sure.
can get with somebody to try to find out exactly how that works. So I'm not trying to like pass. it
No,
on
that's
and
one of the reasons why I'm
everything.
here. It's we're not all desensitized to that yet. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, do what you got to do.
Okay.
We only have so much time, so if you could expedite that as quickly as possible, appreciate that.
Is there something that you're trying to see specifically? I just want to try to help.
So basically everything that's not a private office or restricted. We just want to go into the areas that have
Okay.
services for the public. So if somebody can make an appointment to go visit that
Oh,
area.
yeah.
Obviously, we're not here for those services, but basically we're media. So wherever the people can go.
The common areas.
Yeah,
totally
the common
understood.
areas. So
Okay,
wherever it's open
gotcha.
to the public, we want to be able to go in there and just do our business, which is taking pictures of video real quick and observing and
Okay.
piecing out.
Sounds good. Okay,
All right.
I'll be right back. Just
Awesome.
give me like 2 minutes. I'll come right back
All right.
down.
Thanks, Tim. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
What's your guess gonna be?
What's my guess? I don't know. I'm like 50-50. Maybe he'll come down and we'll probably get an escort of some sort,
Yeah,
which is fine. I mean, can't stop him from doing it, but there's still the possibility they may say, well, someone said, you have to only be in this area, have an appointment for one of those services.
He seemed amenable to it right then, right?
Yeah,
We'll see.
yeah,
We'll see who he talks to, because he's likely going to legal,
right,
right?
Right.
Where else could he go?
exactly. Because communications ain't here, right? They said communications out today.
Doesn't sound like it. Well, I think he is communications, right?
Tim?
He is. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
He's not a direct employee, he's a subcontractor.
Oh,
Oh,
really? Oh, that's interesting.
he's a subcontractor. Okay.
Hey guys.
Hey, welcome back.
Hey, so I wanted to give you some information here. So as far as an area that's available to the public to come in, this is really it. This is the lobby. This is where people can meet to congregate or to connect with a staff member, employee. I guess when it comes to anywhere else, on the second, third, or fourth floor, it's by appointment. Of course, we're happy to do business with anybody.
Yeah.
Interact with anybody who needs something. But
Yeah, I kind of expected
Yeah.
that, but my so my response to that would be, if we were to get one of these name tags, and provided you guys aren't too busy, if we could go instead of making an appointment to do something that we're not here for services of, we're not here, like I said before, we're not here to. What are some of the services you have, for utilities, drainage? We don't have any business there, but our business again is to take pictures and video and observe our government in the course of their duties. So with that being said, that's not something that you need an appointment for per se, although there are some corporate media outlets that might do that as a courtesy type thing. But as far as doing what we came to do, if you're not too busy, would love the opportunity to just go into those offices that may not be overflowing with business right now.
Okay, I'm not sure who's overflowing with business. I guess who's available, who's not. I guess that's why
Yeah.
it's typically.
And we're not here to talk to anybody, just to remind you of that too. We're not here to ask any questions or talk to anybody. We're simply there just to kind of mind our own business and look at the room in general and just kind of observe what's going on.
Common areas.
Yeah, common areas like the areas that look like this, or have a counter where you would have a member of the public go in for services and be on one side of the counter and conduct services.
I totally know what you're getting. What you're saying
Yeah.
as far as walking up to a counter, maybe if it was something like the courthouse or something like that, different
Yeah.
areas. I guess if the way the building is set up, it's not really set up like this on other floors. It's this is the lobby, and oftentimes when we talk to somebody from the public, or if they have a question, we'll meet them down here and chat with them and talk with them. It's not necessarily like a counter, you're walking up and saying, hey, can I get this? We always are here to help people.
Sure.
But we have our information as far as ways to contact us and reach us and everything, through email, through phone number, just different means and channels and everything. I just want to try to give you an understanding of how the building is kind of laid out and everything. It's not necessarily common areas like this where you're walking up to a counter.
Yeah, so you guys kind of created a secured area with key card access. So in those cases, you know, there's sort of a little bit of a hump to go over. So we'll do whatever we need to do as far as signing in and getting a visitor's pass, as long as, you know, is there a possibility to do that while we're here? Because if we have to schedule it for a later time in the day or another day, that wouldn't necessarily help us because,
I gotcha.
you know what I mean? We're just kind of passing through. So is there a way to expedite that or make it happen?
I could talk further with somebody about it, you know, and I'm sorry to keep you guys
I'm sorry
waiting.
you're the middleman in this.
Yeah,
Do you
no, I
think they
know.
might be able to come down and just speak with us directly?
Someone
Or?
is coming down.
Oh, they are?
Yeah,
Okay.
Like I asked somebody to come down just to help and everything, just
Yeah.
to try to explain it and everything, and obviously I want to give you guys whatever you need.
Yeah, I get that. I get that
You're an
impression.
independent contractor?
Oh yeah, yes sir.
Could you tell me anything about that?
Yeah, so I work for Quest. It's a public relations, public information company, and there's lots of different consultants that are hired by FDOT in different areas, like in design or public information, like me, or different areas, and just supplemental staff to help.
And then
Yeah.
public information was your specialty, or
Yes, sir.
your bailiwick, so to say?
Yes, sir. Well, it's what's on the area of focus that I have. Yeah. Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you have the right attitude for us, for sure.
Try to be helpful, guys. Yeah.
I get
Yeah.
that. So,
Yeah.
so yeah, I know you're just tell me what
Yeah.
their kind of like what their procedure or practice or maybe their policy perhaps is now. But the way the building is originally designed is for the general public just come in. I think ever since COVID, a lot of buildings have kind of increased their security measures and just kind of kept them around, you know, for safety security reasons. But yeah, we'll wait on who is it that would be coming down to speak to us again
So
to speak
Dan.
further. Dan.
Yes, yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, so he has like a little bit of a better perspective as far as like the procedures of the building. He's from our legal department as far as like access and everything and how it works.
Okay.
You know, because it's like I don't always have. This is honestly the first time I've been ever asked something as far as, hey, can we come up and see this and that? I just want to make sure I'm
Yeah, appreciate
doing
it.
the
Yeah.
right thing for you guys.
Yeah, and I think you kind of understand where we're coming from, and so
Yeah.
we'll just continue the conversation with Dan, and
Yeah,
hopefully
I
we
can
can.
stick around here and
Yeah.
be with you guys if that's helpful.
Sure. Yeah. Well, whatever you want to do. I don't want to keep you from doing your work or anything. So you've been helpful.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just
What?
do my best.
Yeah. Whatever you if you got other stuff you're in the middle of, you don't have to wait for us.
Okay.
But you can if you want to. Whatever you want to do.
Okay.
That's fine.
You're not being detained or anything.
Okay, appreciate it. Got you guys. Yeah. So what outlet were you guys with? Like, what was?
Well, we have our own independent
Yeah.
like agencies or organizations or whatever. So we just we happen to be in the same area today. So we're doing kind of a collaboration.
Okay.
Yeah, but we're independent.
Okay, gotcha. Is there like a name for it or?
Do you have a business card you can give me with an email?
I don't have it. I mean, I can give you my information.
Okay, yeah, we'll get back to that. Hey, Dan, how you doing?
I'm doing all right.
Good, I'm Zach. Nice to meet
who?
you. Zach.
What's
Just-
the last name?
Just Zach. I was gonna go by Zach.
Okay,
It's
Zach.
because I'm doing a little video.
I'm sorry?
Ocean.
Ocean?
Foshin.
Ocean, okay, very good.
Yeah, it's not a very
So what
common
can we
name.
do for y'all?
So I was explaining to him, he's been very helpful, by the way. We just want to go into the publicly accessible areas of the building. I understand you guys may have a practice or a policy right now where basically you have to have an appointment. We're not here for those sorts of services that you guys generally are used to the public coming in for those. We want to take pictures and video as independent journalists. We're with media, so we want to go ahead and just go not into any private offices or restricted areas. We understand you have it secured off right now, so we're just looking to see what we got to do to get like a badge or whatever we got to do and get those pictures and video real quick, because that is legitimate business, but it's not that kind of business you need an appointment for per se. So what do we got to do to?
Well, actually, you do. It would be both courteous and professional and necessary to set an appointment for some reason. If you want to do that, and PIO has the opportunity to escort you around, show you the building, that's fine. But we don't let people just wander around and take pictures and or just wander around the building and talk to people. Even folks who used to work here are not able to just wander through the building. They have to be escorted with someone the whole time.
Sure.
So you're amenable to that if the PIO is available and open to do that?
Right.
Yeah. Would that be a possibility for you?
So I am pretty busy, but I may have some time. I'm not
Okay.
sure if I'll be able to take you through
Yeah, we'd
everything.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
Sincerely.
Well, you don't have to do it right now if it works. I mean, you guys came at lunchtime. I have pizza downtown just waiting on me.
Yeah.
But
I'm
we'll
kind
be
of hungry
happy to
myself.
set- we'll be
We're
happy
not
to
going to be
set
here
up a
long
meeting.
or anything. Yeah. So, but we.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now is probably like it's a little bit tricky time because we're like down some staff, honestly. Is there a
Okay.
chance we could set something up for a different time?
No, because we're heading to Daytona after this. They got like bike week up there.
Well, maybe you can set an appointment for next week and come look at it.
I'm not
What
from around.
time do you have available?
So I am here Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, Friday, 8 to 5. So it's like hard to say as far as what meetings I'll have any given day, but I mean, you could tell me when you might want to come by, and I'll try to.
So you're not even supposed to be here today?
Well, no, I'm usually I'm remote.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And just to clarify, I clarified with Tim here, Dan, but we're not here to talk to anybody or interview anybody. We just want to kind of mind our own business and observe our government in the course of their duties, and just go into those areas that you would have services for an appointment, to have an appointment for. So is that possible to just kind of do that, go into a few offices and head out?
For today?
Yeah.
Not for me, it's not, but,
It's probably not the best time for me either today. It's lunch hour, and also we're down some staff. I'm trying to pick up some slack as far as some other duties and everything.
Okay.
If you want to try to circle back, when it's a better time and I have some availability, I'm happy
Okay.
to.
So we couldn't do that without an escort, though, right?
Right. But
Okay.
if you
Because we
want-
wouldn't require your services. I wouldn't require you to follow me around unless you wanted to. But is there anyone? Or is there another? Is there any public employee that could? Are you guys that busy right now?
I don't, I was at lunch.
Are you guys that busy right now to have somebody, if that was something you guys would obligate us to do, to have an escort? Would you guys have anybody that'd be available to let us kind of accomplish that now real quick?
No, probably not, no.
You guys are
It
that-
just makes
okay.
sense to set an appointment when somebody's available, and somebody who's works in PIO would be ideal to show you around and
Yeah.
share with, are you media or are you just independent? Or?
We're independent journalists, yeah,
Okay.
part of media. So is there anybody that might be available in the next 20 minutes in the building?
I have no idea.
Like I
doubt
said,
it.
we're kind of shorthanded. Like there's some people who are out of the office, and so we don't have our full team here as far as PIO. Otherwise, maybe we could make something work, but it's hard when it's short notice like this.
Yeah, that's part of the reason why we do it, to see if, the building or the public employees are educated on what we do, observing our government in the course of their duties. So if we had to make an appointment, it would kind of defeat the purpose. Because part of the story is looking to see if the education's going around to all the public employees.
Part of the point is what?
We want to make sure that our public employees are educated, on freedom of press. You've heard of that?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we want to make sure that our public employees are educated and don't put any sort of stumbling block in our way, to do what we have a right to do. So
Right.
that would kind of
Which
defeat the
is why
purpose.
We have this public space here, the entryway.
Mhm.
It is locked because of security and because of just keeping for safety. And there's no reason to be in the building unless you're here for some purpose.
Well, let me ask, do you think it would be some sort of, like guys with cameras or someone with media, would they be considered a threat?
No, not necessarily just because they have cameras, but
Yeah.
it's from a security standpoint within today's world, that's important to have, the safety and.
I hear that a lot in today's world. Well, I'd say we're probably the safest we've ever been. We've always had danger, when it concerns freedom in any dispensation of time, I would say. But I get your point. So
After your Daytona visit, if you want to come back and set a time up, we'll be happy to.
yeah, I get it. But that would just kind of defeat the purpose because we're here to make sure that our rights are upheld and understood and
Okay.
honored. So it sounds like we have to have permission to exercise rights to take pictures and video, which has already been ruled by the Supreme Court of
you're
being
assuming-
legitimate business.
Right, but you're talking about going into a non-public aspect of the building, and yeah, you do need permission to do that.
Well, it's secured, yeah, but there are services for the public beyond that door. That's my point. It really in my opinion. Okay, just my opinion. I don't think the secured door should be there. It should just be open to the public if there are services beyond that point. You see what I'm saying? Like just having that there kind of sends an inadvertent message to the public that the public is dangerous, or there's a fear for the public or a disdain for the public. A lot of buildings are kind of keeping the COVID mentality. Even though it's 2 or 3 years after that, 4 years after that.
But it's not about disdain for public or anything like that. It's for safety of employees and security for the employees.
You guys had some issues here?
not any more than anybody else that I'm aware of. But it's, I mean, how do you know when somebody's gonna have an issue or not have an issue? But that's, you know, that's a conversation that,
Yeah, I mean, if you look at it this way, just hypothetically, if we were to go ahead and make an appointment and we came here and we did a tour thing, you still wouldn't know anything more about that person just because they made an appointment. You know, it doesn't really necessarily make it safer, you know what I'm saying?
True.
Or more secure.
but and what I'm trying to explain, the doors are not for somebody who we know or somebody who we trust. It's for somebody we don't know or somebody we don't trust or somebody who comes in and can put the employees at risk. But that's not saying you're putting the employees at risk. It's just in the event.
Well, you don't know any, you know what I mean? You don't really know whether or not they have an appointment. You never really know. But my thing is, like, freedom is always dangerous, you know, it always has been. You know, for those who would trade away freedom for safety and security deserve neither, as Thomas Jefferson said. Was it Ben Franklin or Thomas Jefferson? Do you know, Fosha?
It's Benjamin Franklin.
Benjamin Franklin, yeah. I've been saying Thomas Jefferson for a while. I need to correct that. But you see, my point is, you know, it would defeat the purpose of me scheduling an appointment to come in and go into our building that we pay for with our tax dollars. You know, so we're part owners in a sense. We're not sovereign citizens in the sense that we want to be treated differently than the average citizen. We just want all citizens to be able to have access to what we, you know, already have a right to do. And in the capacity as independent journalists, we have that right already. That, you know, rights, as I'm sure you're aware, do not need permission to exercise, even if you do have it secured off. Now, if it'd be one thing if it was all private offices back there. I would not want to have no interest going to private offices. But since you guys do have services for the public back in there in that area, then that just kind of changes things a little bit. You see what I mean?
Not really.
So since you have services for the public should be able to just walk back in there and conduct their business and then call it a day. But you see, we have to go through security measures that I think we would agree, if we really sat and talked about it for a while, is kind of unnecessary, because it doesn't really change the safety and security of the situation based on someone having an appointment or not.
Yeah, I disagree with you on that.
Well, at least we understand each other then, right?
Well,
Okay.
and we'll be happy to let you set an appointment, and if you want to walk through the building and see what the building is.
Can we at least check and see if we can make an appointment now for within the next 20 minutes?
Well, Tim's with the PIO.
And he's the only one that would be available to, I mean, is he the only one that's able to walk us around in the public areas and let us do our thing?
So I think, as I was saying, like, our staff is shorthanded right now. It's just it picked us on a tough day as far as like our availability of our team and everything.
Yeah, if you could just write down your contact information, that'd be great. I don't want to continue to belabor the point, because
Excuse me,
as
yeah,
we
go ahead.
stand here, we could have already done what we asked to do, you know what I mean? So, I don't want to waste your guys' time. That's not what we're here for. But if I can set that up, I'd like
Well,
to.
we'll be happy to set something up. And I understand you made a public records request, and that's already being worked on.
Yeah. Is it possible, I know that you didn't take the request, but could I add to the request? I was only asking about employees of the building. I'm not sure, I didn't actually realize that subcontractors were, I guess, they probably would not be counted within the employee role if I was asking for a roster of the employees, because they're not technical employees.
What was your request? I didn't.
For a roster of all the Division 5 employees, all the people in this building, and then
Just
some
in this
insurance
building?
stuff, as well.
Okay, and the insurance will possibly take some time.
Yeah,
There's medical
You gotta
information
be very
potentially on there.
Well, I'm just looking for the loss
Maybe
runs.
exemptions or
Yeah.
confidential.
Yeah, loss runs, it's just numbers and information.
What's a loss run?
A loss run is a report that kind of tells you the status of a claim. So how much has been spent on any given claim over since the claim began. So some claims that we're seeing are over $10 million. So it makes us want to look
Okay.
into these things and find out what.
Yeah, I have no idea what a
Yeah.
loss run is. I don't think I've ever seen one of those, but we'll look into that.
I appreciate
But
it.
that will take some time.
Yeah,
Some of the other aspects, I don't.
Yeah, I'm
I don't
real
know.
familiar with the
Okay.
PRR process.
But we'll be happy to help you with that. We'll have happy to
Appreciate
get
that.
those to you within a reasonable time.
And last question I have, I guess, since we're kind of at an impasse, would be, who would be the person I would reach out to whoever makes that policy? Is it a policy, right, that you guys have the escorts come down, or you have to make an appointment, all that? Who makes that or signs off, I guess, on that policy that I maybe need to reach out to?
That's been a policy really for a long time.
Since COVID or before that?
I have have no idea, but I think probably before that.
Okay.
And I think it was in existence before we had security doors set up.
Okay.
Just because it's the nature of the business it's a business place and people are not just supposed to wander around and.
Well, it's a public
Fraternize.
It's a public service technically.
I guess the layout of the building, though, as I was saying, it's not necessarily like the courthouse. I don't know if you've been to like the Orange County Courthouse or like walking up to that counter to get service and everything. The building isn't really laid out that way to seek services, like just wander through this hall to get to this counter to talk to this person on the other side.
Well,
of
you
the
can.
counter.
You actually can. You just can't go into courtrooms that are in session, basically.
What kind of public services do you think we offer? I'm just curious.
Well, looking at the Department of Transportation board over here, looks like, maybe utilities, drainage. On the 4th floor, I noticed public information. I know you guys have them come down.
Information and cost would probably be the most important things to me.
Yeah, for us, that might be.
If I was to have, need some interaction with, with somebody in the building, I mean, that's already occurred, so.
Well, with public records, we can provide you all that information.
Yeah,
There's no
right.
need to access the building. We're not like highway motor vehicles where you come in for a license or your proof of
Right.
insurance.
And you
or something
understood
like
that we didn't actually want to have a conversation with anybody.
Got it.
We just wanted to observe our government at work, which,
Okay.
Is our right to do. Smith versus the city of Cumming. It's a case out of the city of out of Georgia, 11th Circuit. That's the circuit that we're on. Smith v. Cumming.
Yeah. So yeah, just keeping in mind, like, some people don't have computers, some people don't, some people have to come here in person for services. So we're just thinking about those services that people would come here for. That's what we
Yeah,
that's
reach
what
out
we
down and meet them.
that's what we want to observe. But it shouldn't be that way, because that shows, again, even though you wouldn't say you personally, or maybe it's not your thing personally, but it really sends a message that there's a disdain or a fear for the public, and it shouldn't be that way.
No, it's not at all.
Not in a public building, maybe a private building, but. So in other words, in this very restricted space they've created by sealing off this area from the rest of the area, claiming that it's now a security area, it kind of defeats the purpose of observing our government in the course of their duties, because how are we going to do that when they're behind closed doors and we have to give them a heads up, thereby taking out the element of surprise? And the whole purpose of freedom of press and Smith v. Cumming, which you heard Fosham bring up, which is the case law out of the 11th Circuit, which says that we can observe our government in the course of their duties just so we can make sure they're doing what they're supposed to be doing and not doing what they're not supposed to be doing. And when we're stopping them from doing their task to come down and speak to us, it defeats the purpose. If these public servants were educated in the First Amendment and in Smith v. Cumming and so on, they would have it set up where members of the public are not inconvenienced and essentially sent away to conduct their business. This is legitimate business, guys. It's been ruled on by the Supreme Court already. So when they have it set up in such a way that's inconvenient and they don't have people available at all times during hours of operation, what they're doing is they're not providing a public service that they ought to be making available to all members of the public. Therefore, it's not our fault that they're trying to get to lunch and they're apparently understaffed, allegedly anyway. We don't really know that. I think they're just giving us excuses. It really does feel like we're pulling teeth this entire visit. Come on, public servants, do better. Anyway, I know we're not going to agree on that, but who's the person? Do you know who the person would be that I reach out to speak to about that policy?
Okay, yeah, I can give you my
Okay.
contact information.
Sure.
And, yeah,
I appreciate it, man. Tim, right?
yeah.
Thanks, Tim.
And I think he mentioned that you're from legal also. Are you an attorney? Do you have
I don't have it. I just was downtown eating lunch. So
Do you know your bar number?
actually no.
No? What's your
Daniel McDermott.
tournament?
Yeah.
Daniel McDermott? Okay. Yeah, it's everyone's lunchtime, huh? I'm getting kind of hungry, too.
How long have you been with DOT? Yeah. What kind of cases do you litigate?
I'm on the general law side of the coin, so I don't go to court, but I do supervise people who do it.
How many attorneys do you have in your office?
We have 6.
Is that just Division 5?
There's
Thanks,
my
Tim.
email. Yeah, feel free to reach out.
All right, and I'll send you, I'll send you an email with You asked me
appreciate
earlier about what the name of my
conversation,
my independent journalist
Okay. You could-
handle is. I'll send that to you later.
Sounds
Okay.
good. Thank
All right.
you.
You got it. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, it's just,
Oftentimes it's not, that's why I say that.
okay,
So,
well, that's good.
I appreciate it.
Well, appreciate your all's time, and you want to go to lunch.
Sorry for taking away from it.
Well,
We gotta go to
please,
lunch, too.
Reach out to Tim and
Yeah.
we'll be happy to help you with
Okay.
information and records as you need it.
Appreciate that.
All right,
All right.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
take
Yeah,
care.
thank you.
Appreciate it,
being
man.
here.
Yeah. Have a good one.
Good
Thanks for your
day.
time. Have a good one.
Have a good day.
All right, Liberty Trollers, we're just now leaving the Florida Department of Transportation here in DeLand, Florida. As you can tell, they really did not want us to. They tried everything they could to give excuses as to not allowing us to go beyond the secured area. I think it was a reasonable question to ask and then push, as you saw me, regarding setting the appointment here and now while we're here, so we can just go ahead and get our pictures and video, which we have a right to do. You can obviously tell they haven't been educated on our First Amendment rights. Even if they are, obviously they're doing everything they can to keep us restricted to that small, tiny little lobby area that you witnessed. Anyway, I don't know if I'm going to be posting it. If you're watching this video, it's because of the conversation and the points that were made. I understand this is a little bit different of a video that you guys typically are used to me posting. So hopefully you enjoyed it and were edified by it in some way, some of you. And thanks for watching, and see you guys in the next video.